Hello, my name is Frank Holland, and this is my producer's podcast for advanced sessions recording. When asked what is a music producer, most people gravitate towards saying it was the person who created this soundtrack for the record. In actuality, this may be correct, but it's also the short answer. The producer role is a lot more complex than most will ever know. The producer is the person who brings the whole project to life, finding the right attitude, the right feel for the instruments, the right structure and song progression, the harmonies, the melodies, picking the right session musicians, picking the right mixing engineer to complement the record, finding the right attitude, the right feel for the instruments, the right structure and song progression, the harmonies, the melodies, picking the right session musicians, picking the right mixing engineer to complement the record. They are responsible for breathing life into the song. According to this producer, he compares producing a record to directing a film, knowing the beginning, the middle, and the end, and its true intent. One producer's work that I have been listening to since I was a child has been from the legendary Rodney Darkchild Jenkins. Rodney is responsible for numerous amounts of hits through the years, working with artists such as Whitney Houston, Beyonce, Brandy, and Toni Braxton, just to name a few. Rodney was born in Pleasantville, New Jersey, 1977. Rodney was a child of the church. His father a minister, his mother a choir director. He began taking classical piano lessons at the age of 5 and landed his first producing job at the age of 15 for the gospel rap album entitled On the Move by artist Kasserine, where he wrote and produced the album in its entirety with brother Fred Jerkins. Rodney's approach to a record is one where he immerses himself into the production. He feels the energy of the artist and finds their identity and makes it shine through the record. He feels you need to find the balance and intention of a song first. For example, in his Keisha Cole record, Should Have Let You Go, he identifies that Keisha Cole has an attitude about her. He then expresses that the song has an attitude that needs to complement her. The whole production needs an attitude. The strings need to be intense, and the drums need to knock hard and be impactful. He starts all his productions with a piano. He hums his melodies, and when he feels he has it, he moves on. He believes that melody will live on forever, and no matter what is put into a record after that, it must retain its initial essence. When his melody comes to light, he then introduces the kick. The kick to Rodney is the compass of the song. It's what dictates the movement and the progression of it. Aside from his melodies, the little additions of his classical training, he focuses on doing things out of the norm. He'll add 3 keyboards or 2 separate kicks to a production, and I quote him, "Don't do what's now, do what's next." On one of my favorite records produced by him, Michael Jackson's You Rock My World, Rodney went above and beyond to find the sound of the snare. He got out of the studio and decided to be outside to get a new perspective. He ended up visiting a junkyard, and all those snare hits that are in that record were created using metal material found in that junkyard. There is no wrong way to go, as long as it feels right. There is no fault in failing. All mistakes aren't a problem. There was an incident where he tried something new. He was in London visiting the Spice Girls and learned what the two-step was. He wanted to bring it back to the US and then tried with Destiny's Child on his next record. They recorded it and hated it. After hearing it, he agreed that they were right, it didn't work. He then isolated the vocals and realized he had a hit song, but with the wrong music behind it. He scraped everything and created a new music bed. This led to his first R&B song of the year with that record. If there's one thing that I learned from Darkchild, it's that the technical aspects of a song are secondary. The human aspect of it is the most important. The vibe, the energy in the room, the patience and the comfortability with your artist, the trust that is harnessed, and not being afraid to try the unthinkable. That's the key to making a hit record.